When people think of the Trump family, they usually picture headlines, rallies, and constant media attention. But there's one member who has stayed almost entirely out of the spotlight, Barron Trump. Unlike his older siblings, Barron has grown up in a very controlled, private environment, especially during and after his father's presidency. That has only made people more curious about what his life is really like behind the scenes. Now, in his late teens, Barron represents a different kind of public figure. He's rarely seen giving interviews, almost never speaks publicly, and has no visible social media presence. This silence has created a kind of mystery around him. People want to know, who is Barron Trump when the cameras are off? Sources close to the family often describe a young man who prefers routine, privacy, and a tight circle of trust. He reportedly spends most of his time focusing on school, personal interests, and a small group of friends rather than public events or political appearances. And then there's the question that has fueled even more curiosity lately: his rumored girlfriend. While nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers about a relationship have sparked interest online. If true, it would offer a rare glimpse into Barron's personal life, something the public has almost never seen. So what does that very private world actually look like? Let's take a closer look. Barron Trump's upbringing has been unlike that of most teenagers. From a young age, his environment was carefully managed, especially during his time in the White House. While other kids his age were navigating school dances and social media, Barron was living under constant security and scrutiny. That kind of lifestyle shapes a person. It teaches you early on how to keep things to yourself and who to trust. People who have observed Barron over the years say he developed a calm, reserved personality. He's known to be polite, soft-spoken, and highly selective about who he lets into his inner circle. This might explain why details about his friendships, and especially his dating life, are so scarce. Unlike many people his age, Barron doesn't share glimpses of his life online. There are no casual photos, no public comments, and no digital trail to follow. Still, that hasn't stopped speculation. Reports and online discussions suggest that if Barron is in a relationship, it's being kept extremely private, not just hidden from the public, but carefully protected from leaks. And that level of privacy doesn't happen by accident. It usually means both people involved understand the importance of staying out of the spotlight, which raises a question: who could be part of a life that guarded? While there's no confirmed identity of Barron Trump's girlfriend, the rumors themselves tell an interesting story. The idea that someone could be part of his life without being exposed publicly speaks volumes about how carefully things are managed around him. If he is dating, it's likely someone who shares a similar mindset about privacy, possibly someone from a background where discretion is normal, or someone who understands what it means to be close to a high-profile family. People close to elite circles often mention that relationships in these environments work differently. There's less public display and more emphasis on trust, loyalty, and mutual understanding. In Barron's case, those qualities will be essential. It's also possible that his girlfriend, if she exists, is not involved in public life at all. She could be a fellow student or someone from his everyday environment, which would make it easier to maintain a low profile. Another factor is security. Being associated with someone like Barron comes with attention, whether you want it or not. That means any relationship would naturally involve a level of caution that most couples never have to think about. All of this adds to the intrigue. A relationship that exists almost entirely out of sight feels rare in today's world. One of the most interesting aspects of Barron Trump's life is how successfully it has been kept out of the public eye. In a time where almost everything is documented and shared, his ability to remain private stands out. This isn't just luck. It's a combination of family decisions, security measures, and personal choices. From limiting public appearances to avoiding social media entirely, Barron has maintained a level of control that many public figures struggle to achieve. If he is in a relationship, that same approach likely applies. Private meetings, trusted locations, and a very small circle of people who are aware of what's going on. It's a different way of living, especially for someone his age. While many young people are used to sharing moments instantly, Barron's world appears to value keeping those moments personal. There's also the influence of his mother, Melania Trump, who has always emphasized privacy and protection when it comes to her son. Her approach has likely played a major role in shaping how Barron navigates attention and relationships. And when you think about it, That level of privacy might be exactly what allows him to have a more normal personal life, even under extraordinary circumstances. What makes Barron Trump's situation so unique is the contrast between his public identity and his private reality. On one hand, he's part of one of the most recognized families in the world. On the other, he lives a life that is largely unknown. That contrast becomes even more interesting when you consider the idea of a relationship. For most people, dating is something that naturally becomes visible through friends, photos, or social media. But in Barron's case, it could remain completely hidden. This creates a kind of curiosity that keeps people guessing. Every rare public appearance is analyzed, every small detail is discussed, and every rumor gains traction quickly. But there's also another side to it. Maintaining that level of privacy requires discipline. It means choosing not to share, even when it might be easier to just live openly. If Barron and his girlfriend are indeed keeping things private, it suggests a shared understanding of boundaries, a decision to prioritize their personal lives over public attention. And in a world where visibility often feels unavoidable, that choice stands out. It shows that even in one of the most high-profile families, it's still possible to create space that belongs only to you. At the end of the day, much of Barron Trump's personal life remains a mystery, and that may be exactly how he wants it. Whether or not the rumors about his girlfriend are true, what stands out most is the consistency of his privacy. He has grown up in an environment where every move could have been public, yet very little about him actually is. That suggests a deliberate effort, not just from his family, but from Barron himself. And if there is someone special in his life, it's likely that the same rules apply. Keep it quiet, keep it protected, and keep it real within a small, trusted circle. For viewers, that mystery can be frustrating.